here, constantly working to earn their trust and create a lasting connection. Every single animal here just lost their best friend. And over the course of her life, she was responsible for saving into the 4 figures of animals, and all of your support made that possible. She would always love the letters that you would send, the pictures and paintings that
You know what the Snarker's issue with her was? I have no idea. I've never read her sub. I don't even know anything about this person. I just saw that they themselves.
children made, and the kind words and comments in your posts. Her words were heard by millions and has affected more lives personally than I could ever hope to count.
Apparently they privated it. Several years ago, I wrote an informational post explaining why a prominent figure in the animal rescue community is not the same people think she is. Now I alone am being blamed for her suicide. One thing, you kind of have to be in the community to understand like how it works. But there's a lot of kind of subtle signaling and messaging that to external people seems fine, but it's very annoying because if you know, then you know. So for instance, they talk a lot in, Kiwi Farmers will do this as well, and I imagine all the Snarkers do, will say things about how I'm just writing informational stuff, or this is just like cataloging. When people say things like that, what they really mean is you're A-logging, you're creating like an obsessive history of every single interaction, public or private, that this person has done, and then you're trying to connect it to other people in their life and potentially logging and cataloging everything that those people do. All of this includes doxes and everything as well, but doxing is like the least of your worries with like this like category of people. And then also a lot of it will include speculation and then people kind of giving their own spin and interpretation of events as well. So but that's what, when people say informational post, it means it's generally some like insane deep dive like that. A video dropped today announcing Michaela Rains of Save a Fox's death ever since my notes have been overflowing with her meat riders. People have obsessively brigaded my posts and comments on various subs. You people are calling me slurs, threatening to dox me, and telling me to kill myself as well. And somehow you're the good guys. I bet if I were to actually kill myself, you would be very quiet. When I first found out what happened in the very heat of the moment, I felt no remorse. Then a pit made itself known in my stomach and began to expand. But now, with the way you people are behaving, the guilt is starting to wane. I am proud of the fact that I was able to raise awareness of her wrongdoings. What I'm not proud of is that people took her death as an invitation to hold me personally responsible. Do you really think Michaela went, oh no, 2 years ago, a small furry creator on the internet said I'm not perfect, time to kill myself? I wonder what her wrongdoing, I wonder what that means, what they wrote about. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know anything about the history of this person. You probably won't believe me when I say this, but I was never a part of the SAF, that's the content creator, Save a Fox Snark subreddit. I never even knew it existed before today. Since the initial announcement, over 40 people have wished various things like bankruptcy and homelessness on me and telling me to rope myself and do what she did, among other graphic instructions to suicide. One person even told me to create mustard gas. I also like how these people that do all the A-logging is what people call it. A-logging is when you like obsessively stalk a person and then write all their information down in some like massively deranged anti-fanning posts, right? I like that all the people at A-log will get super self-righteous when people start, you know, kind of attacking them as well, which is funny, but since the initial announcement, over 40 people. Oh, another thing I've seen is people pulling the autism card. Newsflash, autism will give you impunity from animal abuse. I should know since I have it too. If Michaela cannot be blamed for her fox's easily preventable deaths, then I cannot be blamed for her own death. If you're going to blame anyone, blame the Tumblr users. What's this mustelid? And is the fox video cute for bringing to my attention everything wrong with Save a Fox? I simply compiled the information they'd given me. That is not bullying. From what's this mustelid themselves? There's another person, I guess. Edith specifically pointed out that the loudest voices affecting Michaela were people she knew and other animal sanctuaries, not a random Tumblr blog that gets less than 100 notes in each post. This post probably won't make things any better for me, but what you're doing now certainly isn't making things any better for you either. Are the people that post on Snark subs psychopaths? Like, what kind of people are drawn to this stuff? I think it takes a certain type of person to be like an obsessive anti-fan, but I don't think they're so much psychopaths because usually they've convinced themselves that what they're doing is righteous, and they also kind of, I don't want to abuse this word, but like dehumanize the people that they talk about. Like, they just don't view them as people in their personal lives or people that they have a personal relationship with. So it's very easy to, if you view somebody as just like an object to be spoken about and obsessed over, then it's just not you're not thinking about it as much, I guess.
She was not just a rescuer, but an advocate. Her legacy is Save a Fox. And despite her being the most important part of that, I am not going to let it stop here. I will do whatever I can to see Save a Fox keep moving forward to save as many lives as possible. I gave Michaela all of my love and energy, and I will do the same with this rescue going forward. As long as you are all here to support us, we can do this. And I will try to keep the content coming since that is such an important part of our funding. As long as you all can continue donating, interacting online, buying merch, and coming here for tours, we can continue to help the many helpless animals that need us and educate and bring awareness to everyone. This is what Michaela would want, and I have to see her goals and dreams be realized. Aside from being the amazing superhero of animals, Michaela was also a wonderful wife and a caring mother. Every day I would wake up to a list from her on exactly what we needed to accomplish in the day.
I didn't understand Snark until I watched an actual episode of H3. Ethan is right to call it world building. Dan will gently correct Ethan when he exaggerates, but it's clearly not pushback, it's just being factual. And then Hassan went on H3 and acted like he actually believed Dan was secretly aligned with him. They do create their whole separate realities. Remember, it's always the projection thing. So like one thing that they say this a lot of my QB forums, they're just like, oh, he's trying to control the narrative. But I mean, what they truly do is when people document and catalog stuff on this, they have their whole world of like what's actually going on and what's actually happening behind the scenes the whole time. And then they'll give an explanation for it. And then they religiously will try to archive stuff to further their worldview. And especially if it's an online figure who is doing YouTube, especially streaming, like you can always find, there's so much information out there. You can find basically whatever you want to support, whatever story you want as well.
Her work ethic was, for lack of better words, relentless. But we did everything together. Despite her pouring out all of her love for the animals, she still found some love to give to me. I have never shared a bond with anyone the way I have with her.
Wait, was this like her boyfriend or something, or just a close friend, or?
We spent nearly every moment of every day together. And now half of me is missing.
Oh, husband. Oh, sorry. This video makes a lot more sense now. Okay. And they have a kid. Oh, shit. I thought this was just like a random friend that worked at this place. Oh, shit. That's super, super, super insanely rough. Yikes. Okay, I wasn't aware of that. Sorry. Damn.
Sorry. She had so many lofty goals and aspirations, and she would push and push until it got done. But despite all of this, she was a best friend to Freya. And every day she would teach her how to interact with, respect, and care for the animals here. They would go on pony rides together, swing in the fox yards, and take care of Freya's little cockroaches. The first thing Freya would want every morning is mommy. But through all of this, for her entire life, she struggled.
Justical A logs the hell out of you. If you try to debate him about anything regarding you, he will be as statistic as possible and ask for fucking date, time, location, longitude, and latitude of when you did or said something to make it impossible to have a conversation with him in good faith. He is addicted to you. Oh, yeah, apparently I get people who send me videos of him. He'll debate people off stream about whether or not I'm an E-rapist. And I think he made a channel in his Discord for people to specially come and debate about me. Yeah.
She struggled with autism, with depression, with borderline personality disorder, and more. She was always in and out of different kinds of therapy, trying various mood stabilizers and meds, but nothing really seemed to help. Simple tasks were hard for her. Looking at her from the outside, you could never tell what was going on in her head, but even just socializing would send her over the edge. Looking at a cluttered restaurant menu would make her just want to leave. And wearing the jeans that she loved would give her so many sensory problems that it could ruin her entire day. And if you follow her personal page, she loved helping educate people about the problems that she and others faced on a daily basis. She would stay up late at night writing away about things out of her control and how she would attempt to cope with them. She made posts and discussed autism awareness so that it could be spread and help everyone understand just how difficult life can be for those on the spectrum. And she was so sensitive to everything, which is a double-edged sword because on one hand, it allowed her endless empathy for those in her care, but it also means that she took everything negative to heart. And now I want to talk about how words, whether spoken in person or written online, can affect someone. For a few years, a group of people had been throwing dirt on Michaela's name and the rescue. Most of these are people she knew, and some of them are other animal sanctuaries. They consistently spread ridiculous claims and rumors, and being the sensitive human that she was, Michaela took it all to heart. And it hurt her. It hurt her a lot.
This sounds like a prepared speech. It kind of does. Yeah, that's true. I wonder why he keeps looking down into his hands on the piece of paper as well. No shit, Sherlock Holmes.
But she pushed through. For years, she pushed through the pain of people trying to bring her down and the mental challenges she faced. And she still rescued hundreds of animals and changed the lives of so many. But recently, more of the...
I remember you being pretty critical of the people kill themselves because of internet harassment conversation in the past. Have you changed your mind about that? I don't think I'm critical of it in general. I think I was critical of it in a few specific circumstances. Like, for instance, for Reckful had severely... That guy was... If anybody ever had clinical depression, it was absolutely Reckful. And I think there was stuff about Tumat at the time as well. I don't remember 100% as much about that. The issue with some of the kind of harassment that exists today, I don't want to make broad statements about kiwi farms because I don't read it like this generally. Like I just get like